Welcome back. If you're following along with the series, playlist in the cards now. We just did our first key quest for high rank. Hunting 2 HR4s is hard. Today we'll be doing our next HR4 key quest to fight 2 Jaggi. Fight of 2 punishments. Just like with the 2 HR4s quest, there's not much here that we haven't seen before, but it's a key quest still, so we'll be doing it like any other. The main thing I can really notice going into high rank is that Great Jaggi has more tracking on some of his moves, specifically his tackle, and I think his bites. They will track or aim more aggressively. Also, they will sometimes do a short taunt, similar to what Barioth does where the taunt animation is cut short. This can catch you off guard, so stay wary of it. Besides that, they do quite a bit more damage, and there's 2 of them. Just like with HR4s, there isn't too much going on here. You'll just need to bring your A game, and the best gear you can, and some poop. Can't forget the poop. Like always, take useful items for— wait, where are we? The Great Jaggis will spawn in areas 4 and 5, so try and head there once you spawn in. By the way, did anyone know you could do this? If you crouch when the monster sees you, but before their eye next to your name turns red, they won't be able to see you unless they're very close. I discovered this for myself when trying to see HR4s' special actions, like fishing and eating honey. Just crouch and stay even a little far away from them. They have to get very close. Not sure which monsters this may not work on. Anyways, this is a pretty standard Great Jaggi fight. You just need to respect its attacks more, since it'll be doing a lot more damage. Sharpness +1 gives this weapon white sharpness, but its main utility isn't giving it any blue sharpness to work with. Still, try to make the couple of white sharpness hits count. Now that I'm in blue, I'll start attacking Great Jaggi's body more often, whenever openings present itself. Either clear out the small monsters or be very wary of their presence. I chose Sword and Shield specifically because it's a very low commitment weapon. This means I'll be able to move around with much more freedom, letting me avoid being smacked around. Sometimes it's useful to stand still for a moment. Remember that monsters will lock on to where you were before starting an attack, so you can use that to your advantage. Since I started moving after he locked on, I moved closer to him than where he'll attack, making my attack safer. Don't fight monsters in hallways and or near area transitions. Whenever Great Jaggi does his main bite attack, always assume it'll do the follow-up one, even if he's facing away from you. The other one usually shows up by now. Once you get to green sharpness, be sure to sharpen back up. I use this topple as an opportunity to do so. I have Feline Polisher, a random drink skill which makes sharpening take less strokes to finish. Once the other Great Jaggi shows up, toss a dung bomb at it. For the tail whip attack, if you stand on his right side after his first tail whip, his second one won't go far enough to hit you. It's another case of avoiding a spinning attack by standing in the right place. Just like that. Accidentally used 2. Whoops. When Great Jaggi topples, you can get a few hits in, and then be ready to roll to reposition when he gets back up. Like that. Otherwise you'll awkwardly miss, or even worse, just wait for him to get back up. See, it's best to anticipate the follow-up bite, even if it wouldn't make any sense. If you're not aware, using an item immediately after doing a jumping slice will let you tank through weak hits. If you didn't know that, you should watch my weapon guides. Ow. Epic animation cancel tech. Epic animation cancel tech. Epic anim. That was a short taunt. See how he caught me off guard? Ideally, this hunt will be one of two things: a small refresher of a starter monster, or a lesson to never underestimate even weak monsters. To make either of the high-ranked Great Jaggi armor sets, this is what you'll need. When carving Great Jaggi in high rank, you can get Great Jaggi Hide Plus, Great Jaggi Claw Plus, Screamer's Hack, Great Jaggi Hide, or Great Jaggi Claw. When capturing a high-ranked Great Jaggi, you can get 2 Screamer's Hacks, Great Jaggi Claw Plus, Great Jaggi Hide Plus, Great Jaggi Head, or a Bird Wyvern Gem. When breaking a high-ranked Great Jaggi's head, you can get King's Frill, Great Jaggi Head, Bird Wyvern Gem, or 2 Screamer Sacks. When picking up a shiny from a high-ranked Great Jaggi, you can get Wyvern Tears, Large Wyvern Tears, Great Jaggi Hide Plus, or a Bird Wyvern Gem. As before, we will need some materials that can be found in low rank and some that are exclusive to high rank. The Great Jaggi parts come from Great Jaggi, including the Bird Wyvern Gem being an uncommon drop in high rank. Keep in mind that you will also need some parts from normal high rank Jaggi and Jaggia, so be sure to carve a bunch of them if you're still missing some materials. For the ores, Carbolite is new in high rank and can be obtained as an uncommon ore similar to Mechalite. Pelagisite ore is found by mining in the Flooded Forest, and Dragonite can be found in low rank Volcano and sometimes in high rank mining spots such as in the Misty Peaks. I'd recommend you do some mining in the high rank Flooded Forest. It has many mining spots and you'll need to go there for Pelagisite anyways. Be sure to look up a resource map to make it easier to route a path. Here's an example route that I'd recommend. By default, the Blademaster Armor gives us these skills: Attack Up Medium, Recovery Speed +2, Critical Eye +1, and the negative skill, Item Used Down. Attack Up Small, Medium, and Large will increase your attack stat by 10, 15, and 20 for each level respectively. Recovery Speed +2 will increase the rate at which your red health recovers. By default, you will recover red health every 2 seconds. With +2, this gets changed to every 0.5 seconds, which is quite good. As I've said before, this is more useful to someone who doesn't want to stop attacking, but still wants the benefit and safety of having recovered more health. Critical Eye will increase your affinity, otherwise known as critical hit chance, by 10% each level, with there being 3 levels just like the Attack Up skill. The negative skill, Item Used Down, will reduce the duration of used items, and is generally pretty awful. Let's compare Attack Up and Critical Eye, as I know this will come up. As far as I understand it, Critical Eye is not better than Attack Up, for the most part. On that same note, negative affinity does not automatically make a weapon useless. On paper, at the attack levels we have access to, Attack Up will, generally speaking, be better per level than the average damage increase from Critical Eye. For a Critical Eye to be better than Attack Up, you'll want your pre-crit attack to be at least 280 or higher. That's not 280 in the status screen, That's including things like sharpness and items. Keep in mind this is comparing two skills directly, and whatever affinity the weapon has on its own doesn't matter, since the affinity to work with would be the same for either skill. Now, you can reach 280 towards the end of the game, particularly with items like the Power Charm and Talent, and especially if you're using Heroics or Adrenaline +2, where being at low health will buff your damage by crazy amounts. But raw damage isn't always the most important anyways, depending on your weapon. And for practical uses and for normal players, splitting hairs like this just isn't worth all the consideration, in my opinion. However, in practice, even at 1% affinity, a critical hit is a multiplier of 25% extra damage, and it can be very useful to have that at specific times, such as when you need just a little more damage to stagger a monster. Now, this is important. If you want to be generally more effective, then for the most part, just use attack up. Also, keep in mind that while negative affinity does suck, and even at negative 1% affinity, a negative crit is 25% less damage. Like I said before, negative affinity doesn't always make a weapon unusable. Tactics weapons are a perfect example of that. Many people avoid using them since they have negative affinity. They think they're useless, but they might actually be some of the best raw damage weapons at the time you can get them. Now, the conclusion of all of this is, if you enjoy the playstyle and effect of focusing more on critical hits, then do not let me stop you. Seriously, arguably, crits can absolutely come in clutch, but you'll always be relying on chance. If your style and vibe wants to rely more on luck, then that's absolutely valid and honestly really cool. But you came here for help and advice, so that's what I'll offer. As always, you don't have to follow every single thing I say or do, and honestly, you shouldn't. Make sure to play how you want to play. That's the most important thing. I'm just here to fall back on, to catch you if you fall, and to try to make sure you'll still have a good time. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Anyways, I recommend that you use the cap instead of the helm, as it will give you extra skill points in attack and expert, as well as removing the negative skill at the cost of about half the defense of the Jaggi Helm S, which I find worth it personally. Then, I'd recommend you slot in these decorations. 1 attack jewel 2 in the Van Braces, which will require 1 Sunspire jewel, 2 Wrath Talons, and 1 Demon Drug, and 2 expert jewel 1s anywhere else, which will cost 2 Aqua Glow jewels, 4 Sharpened Fangs, and 2 Iron Ore in total. This will give us these skills: Attack Up Large, Critical Eye +2, and Recovery Speed +2. Along with a higher base defense, this is an excellent offensive armor set for starting out in high rank. Having a good Attack Up Large set will be nice, as depending on our weapon choice, to get the most damage out of it, we may want to use a variety of skills, but that'll be for another time. As a side note, if you have a charm with enough expert or attack skill, feel free to use that with this set to upgrade the included skills to the next levels. Alternatively, if you want to, you can focus on Critical Eye instead of Attack Up. By default, the Gunner armor has the same armor skills as the Blademaster set: Attack Up Medium, Recovery Speed +2, Critical Eye +1, and Item Use Down. Unfortunately, as usual, we can't quite get the same skills as the Blademaster one with just these armor pieces. The best we can do is this, with 1 Attack Jewel 2 in the Guards, which will require 1 Sunspire Jewel, 2 Wrath Talons, and 1 Demon Drug, 2 Attack Jewel 1s, which require 2 Aqua Glow Jewels, 4 Jaggi Scales, and 2 Might Seeds in total, and 1 Enduring Jewel 1, which will require 1 Aqua Glow Jewel, and 1 Big Fin. With this, we get Attack Up Large, Critical Eye +1, and Recovery Speed +2. As before, if you have talismans that have attack or expert skills on them, feel free to use them, and feel free to prioritize Critical Eye over Attack Up Large if you'd prefer that. That's all I have to say about this quest. We're making good progress. In low rank, the Jaggi armor set was very useful, and it's not really any different now. It's just that now we have way more options. If you weren't sold on the high rank Arjuro's armor set, but really want something new for high rank, you can't go wrong with either of these armor sets. Keep it up. You're doing great. We still have to take down Baroth, Kuropeko, and a new kind of Royal Lutroth. Until next time.